Hey everybody, Economic Ninja here. I thank you so much for coming and taking your time to watch what we're about to show you. Today we're going to be talking about blockchain, cryptocurrency, Bitcoin, and all of the other myriad of names out there when it comes to this space. And today I am joined with a gentleman that I follow on Patreon. His name is Crypto Charts Joe. And Joe, how are you doing?
Oh, we're doing great, and I appreciate the opportunity very much to be on your channel. Been watching for a while and like the informative, information, the real estate stuff, the tax stuff, which all of us, any type of investment you're in, you're going to need, a backup with those plans. So, yeah, I have enjoyed it very much.
Nice. So, I wanted to bring Joe on because I have been a subscriber for at least, I want to say 5 months to his Patreon channel. And to say that you get a lot of information thrown at you as far as daily chart readings and informative and inquisitive, questions and topics when it comes to blockchain tech and where these prices may go is an understatement. Joe throws a lot of information at you fast, and it's a lot of really good information. So I think it's we've now left the park when it says comes to Bo knows when it comes to baseball. And now we've got Joe knows when it comes to cryptocurrencies. And the reason why I say that is Joe's made some really interesting predictions in the past, and he likes to screenshot them on Twitter and then post them to Twitter and saying, hey, I just want you to know I'm putting my neck out on the line with this prediction. And then he's nailed a few that I know. As a matter of fact, I don't know of any that you haven't nailed, but you've nailed some big ones out there. And you just came out with a really big one. So let's talk about that. It has to do with Bitcoin price and where we are right now.
Yeah, thanks a lot. And be honest with you, the backstory, it just didn't, come overnight, nor do I have a crystal ball, which I've been accused of. It was, many years back behind the scenes, practicing and learning, and even to this day, every day I, practice and, learn as much as I can and still, study. And you definitely don't want to get, too confident or overconfident rather, or, cocky in this business, because the market will humble you real quickly. And I just popped up the US dollar index. As you can see, we've now, I know this doesn't really correlate that much with Bitcoin, but it kind of does with the metals, certain stocks, and then eventually cryptocurrency. But as you can see, we were in this ascending wedge formation. We dropped out of it yesterday. So there's the first, crack in the dam. And then today we're trading under this long-term uptrend line that was previous resistance. Now, it was support. Now we're back under it, plus the 20, and the 20 is very important. So we'll see. A lot of times you'll get a downdraft and then come back up and retest that previous support and then continue down. So we'll see if we get, again, continued downside on the dollar. But let's go where everyone wants to see, okay? Yeah. Now, as you know, being a member, and I greatly appreciate that on Patreon, I like to keep these charts as clean as possible. And, and be able to take a complicated, subject until one, learns more about it. It's almost like learning a second language and then breaking it down so that, just, a person that just sees the chart for the first time can understand it. That's what I try to do with this. I'm going to take all this off and build this chart, kind of like Build-A-Bear. I'm going to build a chart with you here. And this is, again, daily chart. Each candle is 1 day of 24 hours of price action on Bitcoin. And regarding yesterday, talking about the pullback, what gave us several factors is that we had a real strong time count to the upside, each green candle, 3, 5, 7, and 9. The closer you get to 9, the higher the odds, higher probability you're going to get either a pause candle, which is just simply a little red candle or opposite color candle, and then possibly a pullback. So, we're really on top of that time count as of today. So that was one factor. Number two, which a lot of people weren't, well, anyway, it's the 100-day, simple moving average coming down. I don't know if a lot of people caught that. And then we had this high pivot over here. And as you know, we're really big on high pivots, low pivots, and it's kind of funny how all this works out to hit those zones as price action moves. I'm going to make that red because that's resistance, and then we'll put a blue one down here for the next support if we start traveling down a little bit more, which we could. And that's another thing. It's I'm a little nervous about how quick and hard it ran to the upside. So really expecting a little bit more downside here. And in the near term, and I'm hoping I'm not rattling along too quickly. I want everyone to understand it. I'm going to just put a fib line here, and this is kind of one of our little secrets or whatever about how to judge the pullback after a big run. And of course, we're going to put that in there at about the 50% line. And then I'm going to take the fib off because we don't need that anymore. And then I'm going to make this gold. And the people at home, you don't have to do this. I'm just, being over technical here to try to explain, how this may pan out. But, we have our first real strong support area. Near term, about that 35.8 area, whatever the close of that green candle is here. And then the 50% zone from the very low here to the swing high at our 100-day simple moving average. The 50% zone is that go dash line. So bottom line, we want to hold that. That's kind of the line in the sand. We start closing daily candles under there, then there's a high probability, high odds will come back to this major support area here around the 31, low 31 area into 30,000. Okay, we really don't want to do that, but
well, let me do this. Can I jump in real quick, Joe?
Oh, absolutely.
So let's break this down really simply for my subscribers. So first off, like Joe is saying, we've got a resistance line around 40,700, let's say. If we see that pop, Joe is really big on teaching you, yes, it's one thing to jump past that number, but then you want it to sort of come back down to that line and be able to sort of consolidate and then start up again. Well, to the inverse of that, we're looking at what about 34,525, and he's saying the same thing, looking at about a 50% retracement of that big parabolic move. Now, the one question I have for you, Joe, is when did you put out that tweet using this chart as an example? I don't remember what day it was, where you said, I think we might have seen a bottom, and I'm paraphrasing. I think we're ready for this next run.
Well, Michael Sayer from,
MicroStrategies.
MicroStrategy. Thanks. I just had a brain freeze there.
Yeah, I have lots of them.
Yeah, he came out on Twitter yesterday and said he got in. He was real proud. He got in Sunday, and I said we put out the notice. It was really Wednesday the 21st. This green candle here. Let me show you that. But right quickly, yeah. Well, first of all, we also had the 50 coincidentally right here, and I really thought that was going to be a headache because we had not tested or been relatively close to it since up here when we were trading around it back in May. So I was wrong there. I thought we were going to have a pullback into the 20, maybe backfill into our bullish engulfing candle, but different reasons, shorts, covering, news, etc.
Well, a lot of rumors about what Amazon.
Exactly. Popped us up. So yeah, it was really this first candle here, but what gave us the indication that was going to work was just this down trend line here, and then yeah, let me take off the 50. Let me try to clean this up so people can see it a little bit. But anyway, they had the downtrend line, hit it several times, came up to it here, and then we talked about, confirmation. So yeah, you could get in on this candle, but our confirmation was really, to be honest, between us was over the 20 here when we had that clearing candle there. And the reason for this candle being the one is that it cleared out this low pivot here, and then several days of price action. And when you get that, that's a great sign, that there's a potential reversal there. And then, I don't want to give too much away, but I will for you, okay? But because that's for the Patreon members, but we do have a trick or a strategy for, getting out real quick if the market turns. Now, let's say you got in on this, I'll just pull this up so everybody can see it better. Let's say you got in on this red candle, or you bought, well, no, this is a better example. You got in on this green candle thinking it was going to continue to the upside. Okay, so this is the candle you got in on. Okay, and there's psychological reasons, true physical factors, taking out a previous candle or group of candles, a clearing candle. There's a lot of different reasons you could have gotten in on that candle. Okay, and then the next day it reversed on you. Okay, now your first loss is always your smallest loss. Okay, so I would recommend, even though you kind of got whipsawed in and out here, I would have been out on that candle, or actually, when we came down past the candle we got in on, that's where your stop loss would be. So, and then also, I'm sure you can back me up on this. We don't recommend, whether you're dealing with $500, and to some people that's all the money in the world, and they're trying to get into crypto in order to double, triple, and make money. But even with 500, I would not go all the way in on any trade. So in order to survive until you get, confident enough and skilled enough to keep, making more money than than the market's taken from you, I would, scale in 10, 15, 20% of whatever your initial investment may be.
Yep.
And then also the first, candle or first indication that you're, missed it, and it generally happened pretty quick. Normally, if you don't, like this candle here we got in on, it would have been the next day or the next. Within 2 days, high percentage of time, that would have been taken out, and then we would have gotten out. Okay, no harm, no foul. Okay, and then also starting out, close all that. Starting out, I would, learning and trading and stuff, I would start, quite frankly, on the weekly chart. Now, what's that going to do? That's going to increase. First of all, it's going to take your patience and test them like they probably never been tested before, unless you have kids. Okay.
Yeah, very true.
So that's a good way to learn patience. That's, I guess the biggest problem with a lot of people. They run out of patience and they, make a move just to make a move. And, I don't know if you own a business or anything else, just making a move for the sake of making a move is not always, the best move. Okay. Sitting on your hands, sitting in cash is also a good position. But as you can see here on the weekly, and we explain this, in the group, that, the breakout candles, the accumulation candles, the breakdown candle, you can more clearly see them on the weekly chart.
Yep.
And that's what we look at as well. But let me go back over here and show you that, nothing, a lot of people ask, well, it's real volatile, it moves, it breaks down. Okay, yes, it is, but in a way, no, it isn't. Okay, now again, this is daily chart again of Bitcoin, and we were kind of aware, and I don't know if you noticed that tweet back in the day was.
I didn't wait, Joe. Do you mind if I jump in real quick?
Yeah, go ahead.
Because actually, and this is why I wanted to have you on, because you throw a ton of solid information at us in a good amount of time. But my point being is that we just literally blew a lot of people's minds with what you're talking about the chart patterns. And
okay.
If you don't mind, because there's nothing wrong with that, but I want people to understand this is why I follow you, because I get so much information in such a little bit of time from you. There's a lot to digest. Let me ask you this.
Mm-hmm.
In the long term, because you threw out that, going back to the first question, you threw out that tweet saying, I wanted to timestamp this about Bitcoin's price. And you said that it was going to be going up. Can we talk about that and how, where you see Bitcoin in the near future with these charts?
Okay. Oh, exactly. Well, first of all, we're going to have to pull back here, which, people don't want to hear, but that would be the healthiest, just like watching your kids jump on the trampoline, they don't get, higher up without coming back down and hitting it,
Yep.
a solid pattern again to the downside. And then, well, let me go ahead and put this up here. I took it off earlier. Let me, and as you can see, this is going to coincide with our 200 simple day moving average as well. This is this downtrend line here from the all-time high to this high, lower high. That was another indicator we were coming back down. So this is going to be a prime area, and then we have this. And I don't want to put too much on here to confuse people, but this is just what we're having to deal with. And then this little kind of double bottom area, and just FYI that it is a double bottom, but the further apart they are, the stronger it is, believe it or not. In other words, if these were a year apart, or several months apart, it would even be a stronger resistance zone as you're coming back up, or it would be a stronger support as you're coming back down through it. Okay, so this might take several weeks to work through to get back up and over and kind of green light the path to the upside. Let me see if I got the can pull this up real quick. Okay, so we're looking, once we get into this area, we're looking, something like possibly this structure, and it might take, high, this, and you've heard me say this a million times, low, high, higher, low, so long as this next, and all this could be red even, so long as this part, this low pivot here is higher than this one, so we go, low here, if it comes back down and then runs back up, you want that second pivot area to be higher, like a W. And that's what I'm trying to explain there, to get up and over this region. And then once we do, we'll probably come back, retest it, just like here we broke up and out, came back, retested, and then ran. And then also real quick, and I'll get back to that, what I wanted to show you, because people talk about it collapsing, and then even the stock market is collapsing. Well, unless there's an anomaly or black swan, they don't collapse overnight. As you can see right here, we had our first, let me make that a different color so that it's not confusing, hit it 3 times. And that's another deal. Once a price line, support line or resistance line is hit 3 times, the next one, the 4th or the 5th one, again, high odds, high probability. That's all we have to go on is probability and odds. Is going to break through. So there was your next indication. We did 3 up here. See 1 high, higher, high, higher, high 3 times. And then we came down and took, this first low pivot out right there. And okay, I got everything set now. Okay, took it out, came back up, made a lower high. And then let me take this one out just to clean it up. And then you had from down here, this line here. So when that first line was broken, that was one indication, a hint, the market telling you, hey, this is getting weaker and weaker. And then you came down and blew out this low pivot here. Then we connected this uptrend line at that low pivot. And then you made a lower high. So high, lower high, and you broke through it. So there was the next hint, that you're going to be going down. And then that recent pivot, you kind of, trade it there for a minute. See these low pivots, high pivots really do matter. And then we broke it, and then the rest is history. Okay.
So let me ask you this, Joe. So let's look at the future. It looks like a line in the, or the resistance line we're looking at is around 44,600. What do you think it's going to happen if we break through that and it holds?
Oh, well, then we'll run up and no doubt, no question, we'll come back up and retest our all-time highs up here. Right.
So In your opinion, are we looking more positive or more negative? I know you're not a financial advisor like me.
Right.
I'm not a financial advisor. I'm saying both of us are
No, I
not
know.
financial advisors.
I know.
But in your opinion, are we looking at some pretty exciting times in the near future, like like the next 90 days?
Right, I'm saying so, but it's going to take a lot of price action, like in here. What and a few things, key indicators that's telling me that is that number one, uh, this is technically like just a waterfall to the downside.
Yeah.
And when we got it down here into, this was actually, what was the low here in, below 30. Yeah. Well, no, it hit 30,000 right on the, I don't know if you can see that L up here for low. It's kind of funny how it hit 30,000, like to the penny. And then it slowed down and then consolidation, et cetera. And then, putting in the, the trend lines and stuff, we never really, broke out on this one. We cleared a few of these higher highs, but we came back, retested. So bottom line, it's going to take a little bit of making higher highs and higher lows in here. That what I keep talking about, that W formation, down, up, down, and then I really need another one going up this direction. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, totally. So yeah, it looks like we're hopefully going to be getting out of this little slump here pretty soon. And I don't want to rush you, but we're getting close to running out of time.
Yeah, no problem.
Like I said, Joe throws a lot of information your way, and I found his Patreon. I'm the one that actually hit him up and asked if he wanted to come on because I really think his information is extremely valuable. And I think you charge what, $15 a month for your Patreon subscribers?
Right. Yeah, and it's really for people that are, I don't know, I just put myself in their place. I was struggling, that couldn't quite figure it out. I mean, almost there, and they just need a, just like, you send your kids to special camps in order to have a more competitive opportunity, to, excel at their sport. That, that private coach, private lessons kind of takes them to the next level, how to grip the bat a little bit different, in gymnastics, different things. So that's kind of what I'm, looking for, or trying to help people out. Cause, I mean, I think well, it's worth the amount of information I put out. I'm not just saying that,
Yeah, no, let me stop. It's hard to talk about yourself, honestly, Joe. I know. And literally, like I said, this was never solicited by Joe. I hit him up on Twitter. And if you want to follow real quick, as I keep going, what is your Twitter handle?
Oh, Crypto Charts Joe.
Pretty simple. I love it. So at Crypto Charts Joe, check him out on Twitter. And then how can they find your Patreon?
Okay, I think I might have to pull that up. It's well, it's in the little bio deal.
Here, I got an idea. I want to help you out for free. Like I said, my mission is to make other people more successful than me. And when it comes to charting, you know so much, and I've learned a lot from you. So this is what I want to do. So how about you, after this, you're going to send me your link, and I'm going to put it in the description below the video.
Okay, I appreciate it.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, no, I think your stuff is very, I got to sort of rein it in. I apologize because we like to keep our videos short here. And you put out so much information. If people are following this video and cut it up, keep watching it over and over, they're going to see like 5 key indicators of why markets go up and why they go down. And I think just this video alone is going to teach them a ton. So I think it's valuable information. So I apologize for cutting you off, Joe.
No, you're fine. But just one more quick thing. The line in the sand that we could, and I want to mention this. Well, let me go here. Did I think I got rid of it? Well, let me get off of this for a second. Line in the sand is 30 grand. Okay. And really near term, it's going to be that 34,500, write that down. And then that really needs a hold because that's our 50% zone. Then the next one would be this low pivot here. We can't take that out. If we get 2 consecutive days, we get 2 red candles back to back under 30 grand. Yeah, we could be into the mid 20s and lower. And that would be a black swan event, or I hate to say manipulated because, that's, I mean, I don't want to accuse any group of doing anything, but You know what I mean? That'd be a pretty wild deal. And then where we would go would be the high of, and I'm going to put this up here. I'm going to go ahead and leave this chart here, go under data, and then this, and it's just easier to show it on here than my chart. But in the history of Bitcoin, it has never come back down and consolidated under a previous bull market high. Okay, so here's our last bull market high right here in 2017. If we come back and bounce all that, that's fine, because we've done it. Well, we've done it here back at the high of 2013. And then as you can see, the high here, the next bull run coming off of that up into December, we never did come back and retest that. You know what I'm saying? We never came back and started trading under there. So if we do lose 30 grand, then well, that's the price of Bitcoin, not our market account. Okay, so anyway, then yeah, we could come back to that 19,000, whatever it was, and then we should bounce off of it. Now, you know, we can wick under there. In other words, drop under there real quick. You know, a few minutes, a few hours, whatever, come back up. But if we lose that, then you know we need to just pack it up, I guess, and go back and do the stock market. But I don't think that'll happen.
Yeah, I don't think so either. But I think it is a possibility. People need to be prepared for that.
Yeah, so I want to, you know, I'm not, you know, yeah, because I want to put that disclaimer out there. We're not saying we're going to do 100,000 just yet, but I think by March, I think the bull market that we're in will continue through first quarter of next year. And then also one last thing, October is a very important month. If you research it, it's the 1 month out of the year that Bitcoin has had the most percentage gains in a short period of time.
Nice. That's excellent information, Joe. I really appreciate it. Well, with that said, I'm going to make sure that we get your Patreon link in the description below. And is there any final words you want to say before we take off?
Well, I appreciate your YouTube, watching it, learning a lot as well. And then also, I really appreciate you being a member, you know, the second part, and then, you know, having me on and, you know, sharing some of this. I mean, I could talk, as you can tell, I can talk about this all day long. Okay.
I do. And I'm getting ready for another interview and another appointment. So I apologize.
Oh, bless you.
I'm sweating like crazy over here. It's like 90 degrees in this little studio.
Gotcha. Well, I appreciate your energy and passion.
Nice.
And I guess McDonald's is paying you a little something on the side to market their coffee. Every time I see you have a cup of,
you know, it's funny, they don't, but lots of people have asked, why aren't you, you know, doing the McDonald's thing? And I'm like, I haven't gotten a sponsorship from them, but
see, I heard they're more of a real estate company than a restaurant.
They are. It's an excellent example of how companies make money in ways that you have no clue, like Tesla making money off of research and development credits, you know, and that's a whole nother thing to take on.
Right. Exactly.
So with that being said, I got to get going. I thank you so much, Joe.
Thank you.
We're going to get out of here, guys. The Economic Ninja is out.